I've been waiting for this day for a long time. The day where I finally own a 44 Magnum, but not just any 44 Magnum. The 44 Magnum. That's right, the Smith and Wesson Model 29, aka the Dirty Harry revolver.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
Now, I was never interested in any other 44 Magnum, only this one. I had to have it. It was actually a bucket list gun of mine that I needed. And honestly, I don't know why it took so long for me to finally pull the trigger and buy this gun. I mean, I've wanted this gun ever since I first saw Dirty Harry that my stepdad actually showed me. Thank God to him, because he's the one that always showed me the classic movies. I mean, I've wanted this gun ever since I could legally buy a gun. So pretty much 13 years I've waited to actually pull the trigger on the Model 29, and finally I have it. So let's review it. So to start it off, this is the Smith and Wesson Model 29-10, which is the newest, most up-to-date Model 29, which will run you about $1,300 to $1,400, depending if you get the collector's box here, which I highly recommend because this thing is beautiful. And obviously you guys have seen it in the intro there. And it just really, really is a beautiful touch, especially with the classic 29. And also as well, we don't have it on us right now, but it does come with a standard Smith and Wesson carrying case. So you do get the box and a carrying case, your typical blue Smith and Wesson carrying case. Now you might notice when looking this gun up, you're going to see different model numbers. You're going to see 29-1s, -2s, -3s, all the way up to -10s. And you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean? So I'm going to break that down a little bit and give you guys a little bit of a history lesson here. So if you guys didn't know, Smith & Wesson made the first 44 Magnum, and that's what you see here, and that was in 1955. So from 1955 to 1957, there was actually no model number on the gun. It was not stamped on the gun Model 29. It was actually just referred to as Smith & Wesson, the 44 Magnum. Now in 1957 is when they started actually stamping just Model 29 on the gun, and that lasted until 1962, where they actually made improvements and updated the gun to where they did Model 29-1 and also 29-2 due to the improvements made within a year. So needless to say, the 29-1s are extremely rare and expensive because there's so little of them roaming this earth. So that's really what the numbers mean after the dash. Pretty much every single improvement that they have done to the gun, they changed the model number and the dash number there, all the way up to 29-10, which is this one right here. You can actually go online and find an entire list of all the model numbers and when they were made with what improvements to the gun as well. But right now, we're talking about the 29-10. So what can I really say about this and the specs of the gun? Well, really nothing that you don't already know. It's pretty much your standard 6-shot Smith & Wesson revolver. Heavy trigger pull in double action, light trigger pull in single. Extremely reliable because, you know, Smith & Wesson revolvers. Now, there's a reason why competition shooters always use Smith & Wesson for their revolvers, is because they're extremely accurate and extremely reliable. Now, obviously, this gun is chambered in the powerhouse 44 Magnum with the option of actually running 44 specials through it, which is, I guess you could say, a much more forgiving round on your hands. So for really the basic specs on this gun, we have a 6.5-inch barrel, which was the version that Dirty Harry used, wood grips, and also the beautiful blued finish on this gun, which I think is a must. And I know you can find ones out there with, I think, nickel-plated finishes and also stainless steel, but this gun has to be blued. It just has to. And that right there pretty much sums up the specs on this gun. I don't want to sit here and talk about stuff that you probably already know and bore you. So let's get to the shooting. Oh, it's good. All right, so what are my final thoughts on the Smith and Wesson Model 29-10? Would I recommend this to you? Well, that really kind of depends on what person you are. I mean, you might really like these type of historic movie famous guns, or you just might not care at all. So like I said, it really depends on you. I am a huge fan of those movie famous guns and just historic guns. So this is just perfect for me, honestly. Now, I don't think I would really utilize this gun for home protection or concealed carry. Definitely not concealed carry. You know, you do need to remember it is a 44 Magnum, so yes, you could use it for home protection, but you need to just remember that you're shooting a 44 Magnum indoors, which is essentially a concussion grenade going off right in front of your face and pretty much sending your eardrums into another dimension. Now, I will say this, I would definitely utilize this for personal protection out in the woods against bears, cougars, you know, predators like that. Absolutely, 100% would totally utilize the Smith and Wesson Model 29 for that. But as of right now, it's more of like a novelty gun. Now, by no means am I going to baby this gun. I'm going to take it out and shoot it because that's what it was made to do. But it is more of a novelty kind of display gun. Very, very cool to have. Really no purpose to utilize it in any other way but taking it out to the range and just having a good time with it. Now, you're probably thinking I've been really talking this gun up and love it because, you know, it is a bucket list gun of mine, but I actually do have some gripes with it. Really one main little con, and that is the wood grips. Now, I am happy that they are wood grips, 100%. I am not mad about them being wood. What I'm mad about is just the style of the grip. When you do look at those older models of 29-2s and 3s and things like that, you have that glossy finish to the wood, which just makes it look classic. And these newer models, they just kind of have this matte finish to the wood, and to me it just kind of looks almost plastic and not really retro, kind of original. And I don't know why companies always do that. They always seem to kind of go to this matte finish, this cheap looking plastic looking wood. I think they need to stick with what they've done before and really keep this gun as original as possible. So I think in the future, I'll definitely be looking up some original grips, trying to actually apply those to this gun. But overall, these grips work perfectly fine. And yeah, that's pretty much about the only little gripe I have with the gun. So that right there is pretty much going to sum up this entire review. I really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Model 29, if you want one, if you're going to pick one up. We'll definitely chat in the comments. Right now, it's extremely windy here. It seems like we can never get a nice day whenever we want to come out and shoot and film. So we're going to wrap it up here. Once again, thank you guys for watching. You guys keep doing anything outdoors. We'll see you in the next video.